Partnered by Times Influence.
Hello and welcome to Times Now ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Awards 2018, powered by Global Indian International School. And India's global icon for sports is
Sunil Chhetri.
I'm now in conversation with India's global icon for sports, Sunil Chhetri, the captain of the Indian football team. Sunil, pleasure to interact with you. Thank you so much for being here. First up, congratulations on winning the award here. But before I get to that, take me down memory lane. What were your early days like? Because I do know that your father also played for the Indian Army, your mother played for the Nepal women's national team. So you grew up in a household where football was, I mean, an everyday thing. What were those days like?
Sports was an everyday thing. I don't think I can remember any day that I was forced to play football. As any kid, there were days that I wanted to be a Tendulkar. The next 1 week I wanted to be a Lander Pace, and suddenly I wanted to be Bhaijang Bhutia. So I think as every kid in 90s, I kept fluctuating onto who I want to be and what I aspire to be. But sports was very dominant in my home. My parents were very, very supportive. They never forced me to particularly choose one sport. And then eventually, probably because they were so into football, it had to happen. But I'm really blessed with the kind of upbringing that I had, because I had the freedom to choose what I want. Discipline and respect for others was a compulsory given thing. Apart from that, both me and my sister were allowed to express, allowed to have thoughts, and allowed to have two people in my house where we can go and talk to them. Even though sometimes it sounded absurd, because every kid at that time sounds absurd, say some stupid and crazy stuff, but we are allowed to do that, and thank God we had parents. I mean, we have parents the way we do, and that is one of the most important reasons why I've achieved what I've achieved.
Fantastic. Was this like growing up, once you started showing more interest in football, was it something that you aspired that you'd play for the national team and also maybe captain it one day?
Not even an inch. I never ever dreamt of playing for the country or leave aside being the captain of the country. I always wanted to play football, but I never thought I could take it professionally. I always thought I'm going to do something else, but I'll keep playing football because this is the best thing in the world. But I never thought I could play professionally, and even in my wildest dream, I never thought I'm going to play for the country. When I started my journey, if somebody said, here is a pen and paper, write what you want, I wouldn't have been able to write what I've actually got. So I think I'm completely blessed of the kind of life I've got. I played for my country for the last 10 years. I've been captaining my country for 6 years. It's a complete honor and privilege, which is something I'm really proud of.
And growing up, while you were born in Secunderabad, what was the time then, growing up Secunderabad and then moving on?
It was stress-free and fun, man. There was so much activity around when I was young. We kept moving. My father was in army.
Yes, of course.
So we kept changing base. That meant going and inculcating to different cultures, making new friends, and that I think helped us a lot. Little that I knew that I'm going to join a career where I have to move. That really helped. So being in army really helped.
Do you think sports helped in the transition? Because moving to a new place, making a whole bunch of new friends, getting into a whole new time schedule. Did sports kind of help you there?
Always, man. Everything good that I do in my life, sports has helped. It just makes you a better person. Apart from the cliche benefits of you being healthy, you be having a bigger heart, you being a sportsman spirit, having sportsman spirit, it just makes you more aware. It makes you more calm, nicer, composed. We'll have to talk 3 hours for me to tell you how many benefits that I have got from sports. But yes, definitely traveling and making new friends and trying to, and easier to adjust was one of the attributes of playing sports.
When you talk about playing, I want to now move towards football. So again, in the grassroots levels, and I mean, fortunately, unfortunately, India is a cricket crazy nation, so obviously everybody is most excited about cricket, and other sports, football, hockey, kabaddi, in fact, and now badminton are slowly picking up, tennis are slowly picking up. When talking about football, what are some changes that you're seeing on the grassroots level so that maybe budding talent is being nurtured, curated, and recognized? What are some steps that you're
Lots
seeing?
of people watch football, my friend. The sad part is not everyone who watches football is watching Indian football. But as far as watching is concerned, you go and talk to anyone what they watch more, football or cricket, they will tell you what they watch more.
Yeah.
All my cricketer friends who play for the national team watch football. Everyone watches football. The Premier League, the Champions League, you got to watch it because it's the best thing in the world, as simple as that. But yes, all the ones who are watching it, following it, are probably not following the Indian football circuit, and which is where we have to change a little, give a little bit more time to domestic football also. That's the fan part. As far as the grassroots level is concerned, yes, first of all, identifying the talent is very, very important, and then make sure that you nurture the talent very well, he or she, and eventually we'll get great results. And it's not only to football. If you watch Olympics, you know, one very cliche thing that we get to notice is after the Olympics, we always cry that, you know, medal nahi mile and we didn't get that. But we have to ask ourselves, if does every kid who wants to play in our country, is he or she been identified at the right time? No. Is he or she been nurtured? No. We don't even tap 10% of our population. Right. So there's no point crying that we have 1.3 billion people and we don't get medals. The day we are able to do that, and then whatever we achieve, we'll take it with both our hands. But until then, we have to really strive hard and make sure that we aspire to become a sporting country.
You know, recently for the Intercontinental Cup, you put out that video on social media which went viral. That was, I don't know if you felt that was a bit of a risk because you got a great response. I was there, I watched the India versus New Zealand match personally at the Andheri complex. Do you think that is just a temporary reaction, temporary excitement? I mean, I'm hoping not, but...
I didn't think of the repercussions at all. I didn't even tell my PR team that I was going to post it, because I knew if I told them, probably I wouldn't have posted it. Yeah. It was just a reaction.
It was from the heart, we could all see that.
Yeah, and I didn't think of what is going to be, how they're going to take, what is going to be the repercussions. I didn't think at all. I just felt something and I made a video and I didn't even ask anyone, I just put it up. And it was just an honest video where I thought and said whatever I felt.
No, I think that was fantastic because, you know, celebs to a certain extent are shielded by PR or just, you know, but that was from the heart, honest, and I think it tugged at everyone's heartstrings, and we realized, and what you said in that, you know, that even if we don't do well, but come out and watch us play. So I think that is the key for any sport. Like you said, for the Olympics also, it's important to see that the effort is being made rather than just looking at results.
Yeah, as a fan, like I'm also a fan of a lot of people who play for my country. Yeah. The only thing that I'm looking forward is for them to give their best. Because as a sports person, I understand you cannot control results, no matter who you are, no matter who you're playing against, no matter how good or bad you are of the other team. Success is never guaranteed. Yeah. What you want from your team is for them to go and give everything they've got, and that's a very satisfying feeling. I get it for most of my games, and that's what I want as a fan also. When I go to watch a Leander or a Sania Mirza or a Virat or anyone, I just want them to give their best, because that's all you can do. You can't control results, nobody can, we are not gods. But yes, whenever a fan comes to watch the game, they always want their team to give their best, and that's what I try to do when I'm on the pitch, and that's what I'm looking at when I go and watch somebody's match as a fan. But a little bit of time and patience is important from the fan side, especially for my sport, and I'm sure for all other sports also. So whenever you have time, just come, watch, support, talk.
Well, my conversation with Sunil Chhetri continues after this very short break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Times Now, ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Awards 2018, powered by Global Indian International School. I'm in conversation with Sunil Chhetri, the captain of the Indian football team. Backtrack a little back to the early days again. Any specific moments that you remember from your young playing days before you started playing professionally? I mean, you know, some of the earlier moments where kind of, I have this favorite question that I ask everyone. What are your favorite failures and favorite successes? So anything from the young days?
Failures are many. Failures are many. Every third day, I was failing on something or the other. But I had a great support system where every time I failed, it may be a small failure or a big one, there was somebody, my mom and dad, who always told me, that is not the end. You just got to keep trying. And that, in return, helped me to deal with success also. 'Cause it's all temporary.
Yes.
When you win something big and people are carrying you on your shoulder, it's temporary. When you lose and people are abusing you and battering you or whatever, it's temporary. And also, it's not in your hand. So whenever I was down, and whenever I'm down now also, whenever I talk to my parents, they always tell me it's not in your hand. What people think and speak about you is not in your hand. No matter what you do, that's not going to change. What is in your hand is get up, go, give everything on training, and make sure you're a better player every day. And that's simple. So once I start thinking about this, my life becomes simple. Because my work is to get up, eat right, sleep right, train hard, and perform. The rest, everything is not in my hand. Somebody calls me, you're the worst player ever. Somebody says he's the best in the world, in the country, or whatever. It's their opinion. It's great. But I don't get too affected by it, because I can't do anything about it. So that's something that I've learned from my parents, and I have a great support system around me. My friends, my family, my wife right now, they have a great way of dealing with me, where they understand who am I and what I do professionally, but I'm so normal at home. I'm just another person at home.
Right.
Like if you are 10 people, mom, my dad, sister, my best friends, my wife, whatever, we're all same. And at home, I'm just normal. And that really helps to keep you grounded.
Yeah,
that really helps. And all of them understand football. And they have been so selfless in my life. They all help me in each and every way that they can for me to go and prosper.
Right.
So I think I'm blessed to have a great support system. And that's why I stay unaffected from stuff. Try to be. Sometimes I'm human. I do get emotional. Sometimes I do get angry. But now with experience, I've understood that what people think about you is none of my business. I can't even help it. The only thing that I think of is being a better player the next day, and then so on and so forth.
You know, one thing you mentioned about, what your duty is to get up in the morning and eat right, train right, and just do that without looking at results. I would really love if you could give us a small insight into your training, because people might think that, oh, all he might be doing is maybe half an hour at the gym or 30-40 minutes cardio, and maybe, because obviously your training during season time would be different and training during off season would be different. Just maybe if you could give us a little insight into that.
So if for all the ones who think it's easier, I want to tell them it is easy. The training bit is always easy because it's something that I like, that I enjoy, and I'll tell you what is difficult. Difficult is the 20 hours. The 4 hours, 2 hours training in the morning and 2 in the evening are very easy. You're doing something which is easy, which you like. If I ask you to go to gym, you'll be happy. You do something that you like, you'll always be happy. The difficult part is to do something that you don't like. The 20 hours of resting, eating the right food, making sure you prepare is a difficult one. If I tell you have to have boiled vegetable, mashed sweet potato, a little bit of quinoa, some chicken, one day you will eat it. If I tell you you got to eat 365 days every day, you will flip. That's the sacrifice. That's the difficult part. Not going to a party when your friends are going, that's a sacrifice every day. Making sure you sleep at 10:30, 11 every day, that's a sacrifice. Making sure you get 8 hours sleep, that's a sacrifice. Making sure you got an alarm in your phone, drinking water every half an hour, that's a sacrifice. But all these small things, which are not very, very important, taking individually, all come together, that's when magic happens. And that's the difficult part. Training is always easy. Playing football 2 hours is always easy. Training in the gym is always easy. That's the easy part. But the difficult part is the preparation. And that is where all the sports person will tell you that's the difficult part of making sure that small sacrifices come together and become something better.
You recently got married to Sonam, and you were dating for a while before that. How has she adapted, rather has she always been in the flow of seeing you and, like you said, being in sync and being a great support system? Has she ever had any complaints or anything?
She's a brilliant partner, man. I think she's a better partner than better wife. She comes from a footballing family, so she understands football. It is very, very difficult if you don't get the game, difficult to stay with a football player, because we are not an easy person to live with. We are very selfish. Like I'm very selfish. Like my sleep, my time, this is it. Can't go here, can't do this, won't eat this, won't do this. I'm going to sleep at 11. And it's not easy, because then the other person has to, make sure that he or she also fix the timings according to it. And she has been so selfless right from the day we started dating till now. And it comes from the fact that she loves football so much. She loves the fact that I play for my country. And probably that is why it's easier for her to sometimes not think about herself, but think about the Sunil Chhetri. You know what I mean? It's not the husband, but the player that she is very fond of. So sometimes the Sunil Chhetri husband, who is not the greatest, gets away with stuff because the player is what she likes a lot. She's been a great partner, and the best thing is that I see a good friend in her, where I can go and talk to her, which really helps. And I'm enjoying my married life with her. We go for walks sometimes. We watch a lot of football. And it's fun.
Who's her second most favorite player after Sunil Chhetri, the player?
Our second most favorite player is me, maybe third. The first two are Ronaldo and Messi. Yeah, she got a big poster of Ronaldo still at her house where she stays in Calcutta. Still there, a big one in the bathroom. So I think I'm the third best player that she thinks of. Yeah.
Well, coincidentally or not, you're also the third active player with the most number of goals.
I knew it was coming.
That had to come. Is that putting big pressure a lot? Because again, it was in the news most recently and everybody was talking about it. So how do you handle this pressure?
There is no pressure, man. The comparison, all the memes you're seeing, it's just for fun. You look at it for 5 seconds, you forget about it as an Indian. Because there is no comparison whatsoever. They are there. They're the best in the world ever. I'm nowhere close to them, and it's a fact. So as what I do is I see those stats or whatever, I feel happy and I forget about it, and that's what all fellow Indians should do. I'm very, very privileged that I'm playing for my country. I don't take it for granted, and I'm really, really lucky that I captain my country. That's all I'm bothered about. I've scored some 60 plus goals for my country, and I'm so proud of those things. But this comparison, I don't take it too seriously.
Fantastic. There have been a lot of ups and downs, of course. Of course, you've won as many cups. You've been captaining the team for about 6 years, as you said. High point and low point from the captaining part. I want to go specific.
Low points, individually, all the injuries that I've got has been a low point. Low point is not being where I thought my country should be is a low point. Low point is the fact that we're still, I think, 15, 16, 17 in Asia. There are the high points you've already spoken about, the tournaments and all. What I really dream of is reaching the first 10, 12 of Asia as soon as possible. We all know the first 5 teams in Asia play the World Cup, you know. So it's paramount that you reach the first 10 in Asia so that you can rub shoulders with the best 5. And then you will know how far you are. And then people will stop talking to me and asking me, when are we going to play the World Cup? So I think it's very, very important that we first reach the first 10, 12 of Asia and stay there. And trying to keep play against Australia, Saudi Arabia, Japan, South Korea, Iran, all the countries who play the World Cup. Once we keep playing against them, then the answer will be very clear. You know, this is the gap. This is how much we have to improve. So right now, because we are 15, 16, we don't play them very often, which is a shame. And that is why I want to improve our country to improve as soon as possible. We reach there and we stay there and we rub our shoulders with the best in Asia. Then we'll know how far we are.
Here's the question that I have in mind. So while we've moved from 173 to 97 since 2015, we've qualified for the AFC Asian Cup 2019, but the IOA decided to not clear the men's football team. How do you take such criticism in your stride? I mean, doesn't the blood boil? I'll be honest. I'll be crude. Doesn't the blood boil?
It's been 1.5 months. I'm dodging that question, my friend. I don't know what to say. I exactly don't know what to say, man. Individually, when I think of it, of course, you feel sad, you feel hurt. But there are so many complications around this thing that technically I can't comment anything right now. But you feel sad. You feel sad just because prime reason you're not a medal hope, you can't qualify is the prime reason why you're not going there. And I just hope in future it doesn't happen. There are ways to mend it. There are ways to solve it. There are so many reasons how to fix it. At the end, football shouldn't suffer. So I'm sure in the coming years, I hope this is the last time we have heard about this, and in coming years we don't have this kind of issues.
Yeah, true. You know, let's talk about the younger players. So India last year hosted the Under-17 FIFA World Cup. So of course, there's again more and more exposure. How do you believe? What's the ideal way to again preserve this young talent and give them the boost that they need, so that they feel that yes, being a footballer would be a good career option, would be something that they should also look forward to.
These kids who play Under-17, they already know. they're already superstars. They already know the whole blueprint, the path. The ones who are following them, the under 12, under 14, under 10, when you start playing football at that age, you don't think about how much money you're going to make or whether you're going to make it big or not. If that's the only criteria, you're on the wrong path.
Right.
I just want to be honest. When you are 10, 12, 8, you don't think that, you know what, when I'm going to be the next Baichung Bhutia or when I'm going to be the next JJ. That's too much pressure, too young. What you got to do, what you got to think is, you know what, I love this game. I'm just going to go there and express myself. You know, even now when I'm having bad phases, I go back to my early age and I think, why did I start playing football? To go there and enjoy. And whenever I do it, I play better and I'm more satisfied and more happy. So I think all the young ones who are listening, reading, whatever, just enjoy the game. Things will fall in the right places. You know, 8, 6, 10 is too young a time to think about being the next JJ or the next Gurpreet or next Baichung. It's too much pressure. Just relax.
I think this message also needs to go out to the parents, because parents are already planning before kids are born about what school they'll go to and what careers they go to. I think that's also...
It's not going to help. I've met a lot of parents who have this kind of doubts, and I've talked to them. It's not going to help. Pressure at that age is not going to help. At one point, your kids are going to stop coming to you and talking to you, and that's the worst thing. The war is lost. If your kid cannot come and talk to you about what he or she wants or what problems he's facing or she's facing, then you have lost the plot. So putting pressure is never good. Of course, you want to send your kid to the right direction. Talking is very, very important. Knowing what he or she wants is very, very important. Pressure at that age is not going to help at all.
Sunil, you've been called Captain Fantastic very often. But who does Captain Fantastic look up to as his idols, his mentors, his motivators? And I don't mean just in the football arena, in the personal arena, or maybe world leaders, other athletes.
There are many, my friend. There are many, and I try to learn as much as I can from a lot of people. Mary Kom comes in my head right now. She's been brilliant for our country, and I'm a big fan. I've met a couple of times, and it was great moments. Leander Pace really inspires me a lot. It's been 70 years he's playing for the country. I think 70 more he'll play. There are many that I try to learn and aspire. Messi is somebody who I look up to a lot. But if I have to take one name, I think it's my dad. He's somebody who was right there from day one, and is still there. And he's somebody who's been phenomenal. The critic at the right time when he had to, a friend, a mentor, a guide, a shoulder to cry on, everything. I think he's somebody who silently has done so much for me, but probably nobody has. So I think he's the one that I look up to. I always wanted to be like my dad. I just hope someday I can be half a man as he is.
And finally, how do you feel on having won the India's Global Icon for Sports Award? What does that mean to you? Is that an added responsibility on their shoulders now?
It means great. When you're recognized for what you do on the pitch, it's really great. I just want to thank everyone responsible for this. And the small message is just keep enjoying football, man. No matter who you are, a player, a parent of a player, the fans, the media, everyone, just enjoy the game and keep supporting.
Fantastic, Sunil. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much. Congratulations on the award. All our best wishes and support to you and the team for the way ahead. Thank you so much.
Cheers, man.
Thanks, man. That's all on this episode of the Times Now ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Awards 2018, powered by Global Indian International School. We hope you've enjoyed all the conversations on the series, and many thanks for watching.